All right. Oh my gosh.
Oh, I'm out here.
We're in it. We're live.
Don't keep yawning.
Peekaboo. I dropped the camera.
I better get the
Camera.
so I can get serious.
I dropped it, and so now I'm trying to fix it. And we don't have any viewers yet, so it's okay. I feel
saying all this.
okay. Okay. We're in California, so we're gonna smoke weed. I mean, I think you can do that. I don't know. I don't think I can advertise if you do that. Hey, everyone.
Don't.
So yeah, so we are here with Nadia, and we were gonna do this on my Facebook group page, and then I was like, we should just do it live on my YouTube channel because I think people on the YouTube channel would appreciate it more. So that's what we're doing. I just happened to grab that. See how psychic I am?
You are actually. You are actually.
Awesome.
Which we'll get into.
And I played a song earlier. Maybe I'll play it again. And I'm in my PJs, so we have the lights turned down kind of low on purpose.
Okay.
Okay, so now I want you to introduce yourself.
Okay. I'm Nadia, and I read tarot cards and do astrology, and just want to share with you.
What was the information that I sent you for this?
Oh yeah, you need to know
the reading.
Your obviously everybody knows their birthday, but you need to also know the time that you were born. That's extremely important.
The time.
Because otherwise you will not get the most that you can out of the reading.
And this is my first like regular reading. I had 13 signs of astrology reading from Ra, whose real name is Rashim. You can do a PayPal payment, you find out people's real names. So this is the first one that I've had like this.
Yeah, so I just use I use the tropical zodiac, so I do the Western astrology, and I use just the basic house system, so nothing like real fancy. Just pretty standard. And I guess we'll go ahead and get started.
Okay.
I'm a little nervous. Okay, usually we just start with like just getting you familiar, since you're not really familiar with astrology. So this is like what the sky looked like when at the moment that you were born, at the time that you were born, in the day and place.
Okay.
That you were born. So this here, so like in the sky, everybody usually knows the 12 signs of the zodiac, but there's also 12 houses, and the houses, the whole wheel starts at whatever is rising on the east. So like where the sun rises on the east, that's called your ascendant. So obviously when you were born in the morning, but it doesn't mean the sun was actually on the horizon, because that's not sunrise. But the sign of Sagittarius was on the horizon. So that basically starts your entire wheel.
Is that why I get along so well with like cancers and stuff like that? Because cancers are born in that time of year. Aren't they born in that time of year?
Well, no, Sagittarius
it's December,
is December. Yeah, it's the sign that comes after your sun sign. So as far as why you get along with cancers might have something to do with I mean, everybody has every sign, and everybody has like all components of every sign in their personalities.
Right. For sure.
It's just it shows up in different ways and in different strengths. So the fact that you have your ascendant or your rising sign in Sagittarius, which I also have too. So it just
this light is so intrusive. I had to turn it off.
Okay.
I'm like
you're having a seizure.
Yeah, I'm like whoa.
So just the Sagittarius is really, like fun-loving and like kind of like the life of the party, and really wants to like learn things and like get at the truth about things, and is kind of like the high. It can represent like the higher self. So I think that with that's
So
like
my higher self is like more Sagittarian.
well, no, okay, that's a totally different thing. But I'm just saying, like the ascendant is like your like approach to life. So like how you approach things, like how you see things. It's like how you like when you first come across something, you're gonna come across it in a way that you're gonna be like energetic. You're gonna be like excited to learn and do new things, and you're going to be optimistic and open-minded. Does that sound pretty?
Yes. I don't know how
Okay.
open-minded I am.
Okay. Well, see, the thing about Sagittarius is they can have their set of beliefs or ideals that they may not, that might be different than others, but that they may not themselves really be able, it kind of can get where you get stuck in a way of thinking at the same time. But
I call that analysis paralysis.
Typically
Stop
they're
thinking
open,
about it.
typically they're open-minded. Anyway, so that's so there's three main parts. So there's everybody knows their sun sign. I mean, that's what, like, if anybody knows anything about astrology.
I don't know my sun
they
sign.
know their sun sign. Oh, okay.
I don't know that much about astrology.
Okay, well, so your sun, your sun sign's in Scorpio. So you're a Scorpio. That's what they would say. Like, if you're a Scorpio, that means your sun sign's in Scorpio. I have my sun sign in Gemini, so I just identify as a Gemini. But you're much more than just a Scorpio, because that's just one part. Because there's different planets, different houses that are all affected by all the signs of the zodiac in one way or another. So your sun is like your, it's like your individuality. It's your kind of like your focus, like
is that
in
the
life.
dot within the circle?
Yeah.
So that's like the soul of man.
Yeah, it can be considered even like the soul of the person too. In some astrology, it depends. But definitely everybody agrees it's like the ego, it's like the outer self. Yeah. It's like the sun is the source of all energy and life on earth. So that's like the source of your energy and life. And that's it's with another planet, Uranus, so it's a conjunction. A conjunction is when two planets are like together in the same sign within like a certain amount of degrees apart. So this would change it would change it a little bit in a way that you would be more kind of have the traits of being more of like an Aquarian type, because Uranus rules Aquarius, but at the same time you're very introspective. I get that you're very introspective, and that you're like, you can get like these flashes of like genius, and it's very inventive. Uranus is like the bringer of change. So, and that change is going to be fast, and it's not going to be really known to be coming. But I think because you have this in Scorpio, that you're able...
Scorpio associated so much with chaos.
Well, Scorpio... No, Uranus is more associated with chaos. Scorpio is the death and rebirth cycle.
Right.
So...
Which is Plutonian, right?
Yeah, because Scorpio is ruled by Pluto.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it's chaos. I mean, it's slow.
I think
slow
Discordia is Pluto. The goddess Discordia. My viewers will know.
Okay, well, Pluto's the god Hades.
Right.
But you're thinking of Discordia, you're thinking of probably Eris in Greek mythology.
Yeah.
So.
And somehow
that's
she's
like,
Pluto, she's Pluto.
Well, they're very much related. Some say it's like the female version.
Right.
So I totally get what you're saying with that.
And then some people think that Pluto is Nibiru.
Okay, I don't think I put Eris in the chart, because I didn't want to make it too overwhelming since you're new to all of it. So anyways, I'm thinking that Scorpios are very, very deep and like intense, and like you say that you like get to the root of something. Yeah, you can definitely get to the root of something. And it's so it's in this house that's the 11th house, which is the house of others, like of like networks and like groups and associations and organizations and friends.
Yeah, a lot of
so
social
I think
stuff.
very social. So I think that you're able to use that deep penetrating quality that you have to understand like social groups and to understand like how to work with them. And that's going to really be your benefit, is to focus on that part of your life, because where the sun lies is like, it's like one of the ways that you could say it's your path. Not everybody follows their path, but
right.
I think it's a deep part of your path.
Yeah.
To work with groups and organizations and to be able to network and to do things with technology, which I know obviously we're doing now.
Right.
But I think you have a gift for it, is what I'm trying to say. Because of the Sun-Uranus conjunction in the sign of Scorpio in the 11th house is really, it's a strong placement. It's a really strong placement.
Oh, okay.
So, then usually we'll discuss like the moon sign, and so the moon is a very important part of a person. It's like their unconscious, where the sun would be like the conscious self, the moon would be like the unconscious self. So it's like your patterns that you don't really have to think about. It's just that there are things that are ingrained in you, and you just react a certain way. So it is in the sign of Libra. So you really, really want to please other people.
Right.
And sometimes to your own detriment, but you want things to be like harmonious and balanced, and you want people to get along with each other. And how you react to something is, you don't just like react all of a sudden. You want to think, how is this going to affect this other person, instead of just kind of doing whatever it is that somebody else might do. Does that seem reasonable?
Yeah, I would
do you
say
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would say as like a natural behavior.
Yeah, it's
Something
a
I'm trying
natural
to get away from.
it's a natural behavior. Well, see, but you could get away from it, because you have this. Here's another conjunction. So conjunctions are considered like the strongest of all aspects, because the two planets' energies kind of fuse together to form a new energy than as if they were just separate by themselves.
Right.
So with Pluto, that makes you also very introspective, like we were talking about with the Sun and Uranus and Scorpio, because of the scorpionic tone to it. But this, with the Sun-Pluto conjunction, it's very intense. I have the square, and I have a lot of emotional turbulence, but I think with the conjunction, it's much smoother, because the two can kind of meld together and become one. I don't think it's balanced. Well, Libra will try to make it balanced. Right. So do you have like a kind of like an ebb and a flow between like trying to stay balanced and then kind of going too deep? Okay. And I think if it was in a different sign with the conjunction to Pluto, that you probably wouldn't try to bring yourself back into balance as much as somebody else might, the different sign. Because Libra wants to seek balance. It's the scales.
Yeah.
So they want the scales to be equal and to there to be justice for all people. So I think that that you try to make that be in balance. But the fact that these two are in the 10th house, which is the house of like, they say like social status, recognition, it's basically like the outer world. So when you go through like this, when you go through the houses themselves, like these first three houses are like very personal. Everything below here is like on an internal level, on a I don't want to say intuitive level.
I don't have any lines pointing in
okay,
here.
well, I can explain all that. No, that's not what that means. But everything below here, below the horizon, is like what's hidden. So think about it. What's above the horizon, you can see it. If it's below the horizon, you can't see it. So because the fact that you have like pretty much everything above the horizon, you're very, whatever you're doing is on like a very extroverted kind of level. Like,
Definitely, I would say.
you're very extroverted. I wouldn't even say that there's probably much introversion in you. There's some, but I would say definitely extroverted.
Only some people know what that sound was just now.
Oh.
Oh,
I didn't
oh my
even
god,
hear
I did it again. Like, you trying to light this fire.
I can wait for you. That way you're not distracted. Oh, you were lighting cardboard. I wasn't sure what you were lighting. There, you got it. Okay, so I told you about the rising sign, which is the ascendant, which is in Sagittarius. And then I told you about the sun conjunct Uranus in the 11th house in Scorpio, and then the moon, Pluto conjunction in the 10th house. Anyways, back to the 10th house. So this is like this is the natural house of Capricorn. And Capricorn wants things structured and organized, but to be the most successful that he can be. So you understand, I think you deeply understand, that's what I was telling you earlier, that you really understand like people in general, like the masses, and like can know what they need on like the deepest level. Because Pluto is the deepest you can go. There's nothing deeper than Pluto. So that's like, it's totally unconscious. To have things to come to the surface is takes a long time for something to come to the surface with Pluto. But whatever's going to come to the surface is going to be like black gold. And then it has like ability for transformation. But it's slow. So like you're saying, you're trying not to be so maybe indecisive or like give to other people but not really take care of yourself kind of thing. I think with the conjunction, there's a possibility, there's always a possibility when anything that Pluto touches that it'll be like deeply and forever changed for the better. But you have to go through a lot of shit first to get there. So I don't know if that makes sense. Okay. Sometimes I don't know if what I say makes sense to somebody else, because I try to make sure that I can explain it in a way that if somebody, that doesn't really have any experience with this.
Right.
Okay. And sometimes I have a hard time articulating what I want to say. Anyways, I want to go back here to the ascendant or to the rising sign, because you have Neptune, the planet Neptune, also in a conjunction to your ascendant, which is anything that sits with the ascendant is also very important. Anything in these first, fourth, 7th, or 10th houses are considered like major areas of life. So they're kind of like planets that I guess you could say get used a lot because it's a major part of life.
So it's like more practical.
Yeah, well, not necessarily practical. This is the house of the self, the first house. The 4th house is like the house of like the mental foundation of the person, and also of like the family life, like the early family life. The 7th house is the house of like relationships and partnerships of all kinds. And then the 10th house is like your social status, like your where you fit into the world kind of thing.
Look, there we are.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I'm putting us on the TV so I can
I can see myself. No.
So I can say hello.
Okay, that's
so I can
good.
Chat with people.
That's
Hi.
good. That's good.
I have my little keyboard, so.
Okay.
Okay.
So with Neptune conjunct the ascendant, or sitting with the ascendant, that makes that, I think, there is very psychic, especially because Neptune sits in the 12th house. This is like the house. This is the last house of the zodiac, so it's considered the most unconscious. It's almost like the superconscious, like the collective unconscious.
Gotcha.
If you're familiar with that, like everybody's. It's like going back to source, to like God and the unconscious, and you have that ability to kind of see that what's, like you said, you're gonna, I'm gonna know that I'm gonna bump this thing, and you have it. You have it with not just that, but other things too. Like, especially because you have other planets in this 12th house too. So, like, where the planets are located in those houses is going to be a focus in your life. So, like, here in the 9th house, you have Saturn, Jupiter, and we'll go into what these other things mean. So that has 2 planets of the 10 planets. Well, they consider the sun and the moon a planet, or planet-like figure. But also your 11th house here, and then your 12th house has even 3 planets in it. So those areas would be more of a focus for you. So I think there's a lot of things that you don't know that you even can do.
I hope so.
like on a psychic level.
I'm gonna fix this camera too. This
Well,
is like
and then
crazy
because
angled.
you have Mercury there too, and Mercury's about communication.
I feel like that would be better.
Okay. With Mercury there about, which is like the planet of like communication and like logical reasoning and logical thinking.
Mm-hmm.
That you like even could be a type that's, like able to like communicate with like other realms, or communicate with, like bring communications back from other places.
Yeah.
But it's the planet's retrograde, so you may not know how to outwardly express that, because when a planet's retrograde, it's inward, and it doesn't really know how to express itself in an outward mode. So you could look at the aspects to see, is there a way that you could could communicate that. I don't know what you're interested in even achieving, but I'm just saying that's one component that could be, you might find important. So Sun, Moon, Mercury, and then this right here is Venus. So that's like the planet of like.
What does it
love,
mean that it's just
everybody-
like all right here?
Okay, well what it means, so it's all in this.
I don't know if they can see this, but it's
Okay,
like.
well that's what I was talking about. Like
It's like
everything's like
super
above the horizon,
yeah.
which is more of an outward expression. And this is like not even about the self. This is like about like the self with others, or just others. Because there's 4 quadrants too. So you have a lot of basically it's pretty balanced between this 3rd quadrant and the 4th one. So I think you're focused on, you're not really focused on you're focused on others, is what I would say. Others. And in different ways though. It's not just like a relationship or a partnership. I just think others, like,
Right.
like I was saying, groups.
I've always been that way.
And just like you just get it. You
yeah.
just understand like how to work with
And
that.
other people have noticed that in me too, so I know that.
Okay, so because like for example, somebody that had like a lot of their planets down here, they're not going to be really interacting with others, because their
Right.
focus is more on themselves, their home, and their family, and things like that. It's more of like a sheltered, I don't know if I want to say sheltered, but more of like a closer to self. This is like, if it's above the horizon, it's more like out there for anybody and everybody to experience. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Venus is the planet that's associated with love and like pleasures and like good times and just like wanting things to be beautiful. And so that's in the 12th house, which is very Neptunian, because Neptune is naturally in the 12th house, but you have Neptune in the 12th as well, and it sits with the planet Venus, so they're in a conjunction. They're 4 degrees apart. So I think that is a very harmonious, like, Neptune and Venus get along well, and I think it's like a very harmonious thing. And I think that you have like a sense of, what I'm thinking is maybe a sense of like comfort, that of whatever is not seen with the eyes, but
Yeah.
is felt with the heart, or that like a connection to like the divine, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that?
Yeah, for sure.
Like it's just something that you know is there, and
Yeah.
you don't really have to look for it,
Right.
but it may not be something that you can outwardly express to others. But you know it, and that's all that really matters.
Gotten better at that.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
And then
let's do my tarot reading soon.
okay, we will. So we can do this even in layers because it's a lot to take in. Like you could seriously look at you could talk about one person's chart for hours if you went into every detail.
Right.
And it's a lot of information. So I'll just do the net.
So you have a website if people want to get
Oh yeah. No, I don't have a website. If you're familiar, you can go to astro.com. It's astro.com. It's excellent. Free charts. You just have to sign up for. You can be a guest. You can sign up for an account. It's free, and that way you can store, I think, like 99 profiles, so that you can go. You can do all kinds of different things. You can do predictive things, like if you wanted to do progressions or solar arts
on a certain day that you have something going on. You want to check it
yeah,
out
sure. You can do transits. I printed your transits too on the outside. Yeah, you can do all kinds of things. It's an excellent site and it's free. He did say to let him in before we started. Okay. And then we come to Mars. So that's the symbol for Mars, which is like Mars is like your drive. Like this is how you're gonna survive. Like Mars naturally rules the first house and Aries. So it's like you start out with Mars, like that's how you're gonna survive and get stuff done. And your Mars is in Leo, so that is good. It's a fire, so Mars is in a fire sign. It's naturally in a fire sign, so that's considered, like a good placement for a Mars. I have Mars in Leo too, and I have it in the 8th house. So it can be a bit lazy and indulgent at times. But for the most part, that Mars in Leo is gonna get it done because it's got that drive, the fire to get it moving.
Scorpios are different than other signs.
Scorpios.
And I can almost always tell when I meet other Scorpios, not other signs, but just other Scorpios.
Well, and it could just be somebody that has a strong scorpionic feel to them. It could be that.
I'll ask, are you a Scorpio? They'd be like, how do you know?
Well,
I can just tell. I can just tell.
Well, but you're also connected to the Scorpio energy because of your sun and Uranus and Scorpio.
Yeah, I can
Plus
always
you
tell
have
when
this
I meet
Moon-Pluto
other Scorpios.
conjunction, and Pluto is.
Scorpio is the only sign that has 2 planets.
No, actually.
I mean, not 2 planets. Has multiple animals. It has the scorpion, the phoenix.
Oh yeah, because the phoenix rises from the ashes. Yeah, that's true.
It's all 3: serpent, phoenix, and scorpion.
Well, the serpent could represent
rebirth.
Yeah. And the phoenix rising from the ashes. I mean, you have to die to basically be reborn.
That's the Pluto.
So that's the power. So Scorpio holds a lot of power too.
I know a lot of weird people that are Scorpios too. Like a lot of weird people.
Well, it's also the taboo.
I just noticed.
And the unusual.
Weird people in general, I guess. Okay, so do you have the cards?
Yes. Okay, so you don't want to know about anything else?
Is there anything else I should know?
And then and then then you get more into the generational planets. Like we can do that for next time.
Why didn't I know I was gonna hit my elbow?
Uranus, which we talked a little bit about, and then Neptune, which we talked a little bit about. So the only thing else would be probably Saturn. Saturn is like the father. He's like the one that's going to be like, well, you need to do it this way and this way and this way, and you need to work hard because you're not going to get it any other way. So Saturn's the disciplinarian, the teacher, but the teacher that's like hard on you. You still learn, but like you're like, shit, I don't want to have to learn all these things because they suck. So, but has his purpose, and without Saturn, he wouldn't have much direction. So that's here in the 9th house. So I think that it also can be considered struggles or frustrations or setbacks. The 9th house is the house of like the higher education or the travel, to different places, like foreign places. Also like your like ideals, like your could be like religious beliefs. Do you
Hey guys,
feel
if
that
you're just tuning
struggle with
in,
those?
I'm getting a live astrology chart reading from my friend Nadia, and she's gonna be selling. She's taking my courses, and she did my live event on how to like sell online and do that kind of stuff. So I'm doing the reading with her, and then at another time we're gonna go over like how to sell it, whatever. But I just thought it would be more fun to do on this website than to do on my paid group. So I thought you guys would probably enjoy it more, and then we can still use the video later. We can download it. So
Okay. So I'm not going to go into anything else really at this time, because I think we could just do it for another video, because like I said,
we could go on and on.
I could spend 2 or 3
and
hours
I know people
talking
are
about
waiting,
your chart.
People are waiting for the tarot reading.
Okay, yeah. So we could go into the outer planets, the generational planets. We could go into the aspects. We could go into the transits that you're having. You could look at your progressions for, predictions and things like that. There's lots of things, lots and lots and lots of things, like endless amounts of things that you could do, honestly.
That's what my chart looks like. I think people can see that. Kind of see
Oh,
it.
and then also you want to look at the elements.
Yeah, we lost a few people. We were like really getting into this chart, and people were like, so they left. But we're gonna do the tarot reading.
Oh, okay.
People were like, this is not my chart.
Technical.
What's in for me?
True. Now, if I was teaching you about how to read it.
Yeah, then that'd be different. Yeah, but you don't want to do that. Let's do the tarot reading.
Okay.
We could go on and on and on with my chart.
I could talk about it for 2 or 3 hours.
I'm hoping my husband brings me a clove cigarette.
Okay, so typically I go with, if you have a question, I go with a question. You could say the question out loud, or you could just think of a question and concentrate on it, and then I can read that. Or if you have no idea.
Out loud.
Okay.
What do I do?
You just ask me the question, and I'll help you like solidify it, and then I'll start shuffling and concentrating on that.
So let's see, what question?
And I use the Rider-Waite deck, just the basic Rider-Waite.
Is my new business venture going to be a success? That's my question.
Okay.
If you don't know, I started an online school to teach people how to sell stuff online and make stuff out of your art and sell it and have it actually sell, and without paying a bunch of money in ads and doing stuff like that. So that is my new business. Etsy Cafe. You're not gonna bring me a clove cigarette, are you? So that's what I'm doing, and it's a lot of fun, and I'm really excited because I get to help a lot of other people do what I did, which is just like work from home and stuff like that.
Okay. And then you can just cut the deck.
Oh, I cut the deck.
Yeah.
Some people are leaving because this is devil worshipping stuff.
It's not devil worshipping in any way. It's using your, basically what you do is you use your intuitive abilities to read symbolism.
Right.
Everyone has a connection to the divine, and this is just one way
Plus the tarot
to
deck.
connect.
The tarot deck is the Torah broken up into like pictures, basically.
It's
the Old Testament of the Bible.
Well, it's got all different religious connections from different cultures. Yeah, there's Christian, there's Jewish, there's Egyptian, there's
the Jews
Greek,
and the Egyptians.
Yeah, I mean I've never thought of it like that. So
And
I don't deal with that. So.
The Babylonians took everything from the Hebrews.
Oh, I never heard of the Hebrews.
Mm-hmm. The Hebrews were the tribes that the Babylonians came in and took over Babylon and turned it into Babylonia before it was the Hebrew tribe, which is very similar to Nibiru.
Okay, I'm just gonna do
Hebrew.
I'm gonna do a Celtic cross. Okay.
Okay.
You're doing a cross symbol. Okay. Typically we start with 2 cards here, and the first card is like the heart. They call it the heart of the matter, or it's like basically the present situation. And I'm getting the feeling that you are overwhelmed and that you are tired.
Those look like penises.
Those are wands, and they represent creative energy, and they can be considered a phallic symbol because...
For sure, those look like penises.
It's like your energy. I feel like your energy is drained. You're still standing, but you're feeling drained.
I don't feel drained. I did feel drained a week ago, though, 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Before my event.
Okay, well, perhaps more will come. And then, so this is considered like a card that crosses, is like a challenge point, and the world is a card that connects to cycles. So the ending of a cycle, the beginning of a cycle, I'm thinking it's the beginning of a cycle.
Oh, I've been obsessed of the ending and the beginning of cycles lately because of the 7-11 numbers and the 117 numbers.
Okay.
And there's a whole thing about like time reversing and starting to move in the other direction, all this weird polar shift stuff. And it's very interesting because we've noticed a lot, just not just me, a lot of people have noticed a lot of the occult numbers that people notice all the time, like 7-11, 9-11, all these things that like we notice.
Well, 9 is now number 9 is the ending of a cycle.
Yeah, and now people are starting to notice they see 119
sevens are
or 116
represents the spiritual.
Yeah, or 117. So people are noticing these numbers everywhere. So it's like the numbers that people used to notice all the time, now they're noticing them in reverse. So it's just really interesting. Yeah, it's all the
see. This is the 9 here.
November 11th.
This is the 9 of Wands. So there's your 9.
They hide a lot of 9 stuff from us. Like they call November the 11th month, but Nov is 9, Oct is 8, Sept is 7.
Okay, that's
so
true.
They hide a lot of stuff like that so that we can't figure a lot of cult stuff out. So they trick it, you know. So you can look at people will look into stuff, but if they don't know the real dates, then you can't hardly know anything. But once you figure it out, it's crazy.
So I'm thinking that what I'm thinking is that it's like I'm thinking it's the starting of the cycle because you're starting this new school instead of the ending of the cycle. So maybe are there some speed bumps as to getting things going the way that you want them to?
I don't know. It's always speed bumps.
Okay.
No, I had roadblocks.
Well, okay, roadblocks, because like that's a good way to put it, because those are like roadblocks.
But I
But you're
don't
standing.
Yeah.
You've got your bandage on, but look, you're still standing.
Yeah.
Which means you still got fight in you. So I think there have been some roadblocks.
I figure things
to
out.
Starting this venture.
Definitely. Like the guy that designed my whole website, and his son.
And I don't read the cards in reverse.
Can you do about that?
Usually I don't read the cards in reverse. I just put them all upright. So, sorry if you prefer reverse.
Well, the Lovers card, which is John and Mary. I talk about this card a lot.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. So this is the foundation, basically, like the past foundation of this is that of the Lovers. So the Lovers is relationships, basically. Yeah. So it's like the union between like man and woman.
But it could also be the joining together of like all kinds of different things, right?
Sure, it could be union. It could be union. Mm-hmm.
But a lot of this card I find, even like in modern pop culture and stuff, related to the John and Mary like phenomenon that I even we were just watching Schitt's Creek, and even in that show Schitt's Creek, it's John and Moira, which Myra is Mary. Mm-hmm. And so it's so crazy, but it's everywhere from hell, Salem, everything going back in time. It's all John and Mary, John and Mary.
Yeah, but the Lovers also is like everybody loves the Lovers, but the Lovers are also can be not good in a sense because you give in to like a lower desire kind of thing. Yeah. It's not like the devil or anything like that.
Well, these two are definitely the two that Aleister Crowley's talking about in the Book of the Law when he says to him the sacred flame and to her the swooping starlight.
Yeah.
He's talking about these two people.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm thinking you're receiving support from your lover. That's what I'm thinking because you're in like a supportive position. Mm-hmm. Your husband has been supportive, I'm assuming. That's what I'm getting from that. Do you agree?
And I have a lot of stuff tied in with me and Archangel Gabriel as well.
Okay. So maybe it's a protection thing for you. Okay.
And that goes back to, Abraham and Hagar too. Abraham. Two pillars.
So in the more recent past, there's the Fool. So this is a new venture for you, like you said. This is something new that you've not done before. And that shows with the Fool. So the Fool doesn't always know where he's going, but he's going to get there eventually. You move these out of the way. So it's definitely new to you.
Mm-hmm.
In this position, I interpret this as how you feel right now about the situation. And I feel like you're trying to seek balance, and that you are trying to kind of figure out what exactly you want to do with the venture, with the business thing. Maybe trusting your intuition a little bit more could be helpful for you, because see how she's blindfolded? And so she can't see, she has to make judgments not with her eyes, but with her other senses. And then there's also the lake here in the background, and the water is represents intuition and psychic abilities. So the swords represent the thinking, the air quality of the air signs, and these are like, the swords are upright, so that's good, because that means that you're able to like penetrate through and receive knowledge, and that knowledge can come to you instead of when the swords are, positioned in a downward position.
Okay.
So I think there's you gotta open yourself up a little bit more to
Look, it's a funnel.
Insights.
An information funnel.
Yeah, you gotta open yourself up to those insights and stop using your eyes so much and use your other senses. That's what I'm thinking from that.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is like the near future. This is the Page of Pentacles. Pentacles.
Who's watching now? Give me a comment, you guys. Comment right here. I need it for my self-esteem or whatever. I have the keyboard, so I can talk a little bit.
This is the near future, and this is the Page of Pentacles. Pentacles represent the earth energy, so like the tangible, and coins are money. So, and pages are like just starting out. So I think you're gonna get on your feet. It's gonna be you're gonna have I'm not gonna say a small success, but you're gonna start feeling some success here in the near future with this goal that you want to accomplish with your classes. So the pages are good. They're like young energy that's like starting out kind of energy. Okay. Oh, here's another page.
I do sixes. Okay, guys. Everybody has like a number. Like if you do live videos, like they'll just be like, if you like it, give me like this number or that number. So I do sixes.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Rose of
If you like something, they can do sixes.
Okay, sixes. All right, the Page of Wands. So here's another page. This time in the wand suit, like this 9 of Wands here. So when you see repeated things, you want to look for those repeated numbers or repeated suits. So this is also very good. You're on the beginning of a journey. So pages
Always.
So pages also, like I said, they represent like the youth, like the youthful energies, and the ones are energies themselves are fire. They're sparks. So you're getting
Got it.
You're getting that spark to get going.
Okay.
These two pages will work together to get that.
So now I can work with watching. Like
Okay.
tarot reading.
Okay. Well, the tarot reading is like a little bit. I think it's not as
Well, there
intricate.
are pictures.
Well, and then the tarot reading is not as intricate as an astrology reading.
Well, yeah, and plus this is like anybody
can take meaning from the
yeah,
cards.
and they can look at this, and
You're
there's
correct.
this, I talk about these cards a lot, like individually, not necessarily in readings, but in their relationship to Jewish lore and stuff like that. So I talk about the cards a lot. So people on here know, my viewers know more about this than I do for sure.
Oh.
So
Well, then now I feel
more
a little
interested
nervous.
for them.
Now I feel a little nervous.
Well, don't be, because I don't know anything. So.
Well, then they know more than me.
I just know the occult background stuff about this. I've never really. I had my tarot cards done at a mansion party one time in LA by a lady that looked like she was from New Orleans, who I'm sure was just dressed up like that.
That's not really.
It was.
That's not the kind of tarot.
It was a real tarot reading though, but it's LA, it's Hollywood, so they were like.
So they were playing the.
Yeah, they had like their hair. It was awesome though. It was like, it was on mushrooms. It was cool. But
that'd be interesting.
Someone's knocking at my door. Who is it? Who? Oh, Domino's. Sorry.
You got pizzas?
Yeah.
Like what? Domino's.
Domino's.
Funny. Okay.
What the hell's going on here?
Do you want to just wait?
No, we just keep going.
Okay, keep going. All right. So this is the 5 of Pentacles, and this here is in the kind of like the other people energy that surrounds you, and there's some people around you that are having some hard times financially.
Let me tell you.
Some hard times.
Let me tell you.
They're gonna try to drain you.
I've had a lot of weird dreams like that, and it's always in 5s. Because I met this Christian dream interpreter when I was in high school, and she would tell me to always count things. So if you like count things to remember, because if you remember numbers, it's like really significant. So I started counting. There's always 5. Numbers 5.
Well, 5 is the middle of a cycle. So 5s are like a turning point.
They always seem to
It's
symbolize
like,
family members.
Are you? Well, I didn't see that. So are you gonna go left? Or are you gonna go right? Are you gonna go forward? So I think that are there people around you that are like in need of like some financial help?
No, it's not that.
Okay.
It's that I'm getting to a point now where I am making good money, and I think like I love what I'm doing, and I have a lot of free time, and I'm starting to get nervous because the last time when I had access to money, it was my money, people just want money.
Yeah, for whatever reason.
Yeah, and
I
so
think
you try to be nice and you give them money,
of that.
and then they're like, "You're so nice. Can I get more money?" And then you're like, "Well, I can't
That's
keep
your
giving away
labor
money." So you're eventually you have to tell the people you have to pay me back, and then they don't pay you back, and then so it's like all these upset feelings you're trying to avoid by just giving them money and not, you know what I mean? Like it's unavoidable. So you just have to say no.
Yeah.
You know. And
well, I think there's gonna be some
there are
people
things
that
that are
approach
gonna,
you that
yeah.
you're gonna have to say no to.
No, it's bigger than that. It's like more upsetting than that, actually.
Okay. Well, it's
because
coming.
it's like, yeah, no, it is coming, and but
especially if you've been dreaming about something similar.
Yeah, well,
it's definitely coming.
It
Listen to
is
your
coming,
dreams.
and like I've had to like really sit down and go over like past circumstances and how to deal with those people now, because now I can say, well, remember when we had that smaller amount that we were dealing with, like you couldn't take care of that, so I definitely can't give you any more. You know, like if a couple $100 is gonna make or break you now, you're not gonna have it next week. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're gonna. It's like, what is it? Teach a fish.
And people pay their drug dealers
teach a
back, but
person
not
to
me,
fish.
because I know they're drug dealers, so whatever.
Well,
I'm like, wait a minute.
they're coming.
They're coming over here, so they pay you back to the front. Huh? They paid their front back? Oh, okay, I get it.
Because I can't see that this
me.
is. Yeah, that type of energy is surrounding things. All right, this is like your hopes and your fears. So the moon is very unconscious or subconscious, whatever you want to call it, and I don't know, I'm getting the feeling that it might be more of a fear that you're fearing that you're not gonna be able to like figure out what to do. I don't know. That's kind of what I feel from it. But I don't know. You would have to be able to. I think if you don't listen to these
I am
things,
afraid that I know what I'm going to do. Do you know why? Because this whole time I've been thinking about, I got to figure out what to do to start the business and to get it going. So I started it. I got it going. I did all that part, and now I'm totally freaked out on the accounting, like having large amounts of money, and then trying, like to trust people to do the accounting and to pay the taxes, because it's a full-time job.
Okay.
You can't do it.
You can't do.
You
all
start
the
to
parts.
realize
You
the
can't do
bigger it
everything.
gets, that you cannot possibly do this. It's like a whole other job. That's why people pay other people to do it. So I'm worried about that. I'm afraid to put my like livelihood and stuff in someone else's hands. But surely I'm no accountant.
Neither am I.
So like, well, I try to spend money as fast as I make it. So.
All right, and then that's a good one. The end result or the final result. Everybody loves to see that card, the Four of Wands. So that's like a pretty good, happy card. Like it's gonna be successful for you.
Yeah, and I think my success will be when successful. Yeah, my success will be when other people take the strategies that I put forth and use them. You know.
Well, wands are creative energy, and you're trying to share that. And see, this is like sharing. You know, there's a man and a woman, not just one person. There's children.
I'm glad we'll have lives on Friday night.
Is it Friday?
Well, we had more people watching earlier, but we lost a lot of people during astrology, and then I've been doing like promotional stuff on here, so people don't want to hear that kind of shit. So, yeah, I'm glad that some of my viewers are getting out.
I definitely think that it's going to be, it's going to work out. It's going to work out the way it's going to in a positive way.
Yes.
Because
it already is. So
it's
good. Just it's like it's scary, but it's like exciting.
But see, that's you blindfolded. Mm-hmm. Turn around and face the water, and take off the blindfold.
Yeah, it is. It is weird. It's weird. They tell you when you sign up for these courses and all this stuff that you can like do it overnight, but that's not true.
No.
Who are the drunken peasants?
Drunken peasants, but they're.
I want to watch. Are there drunken peasants? I want to watch. I want to go on YouTube and watch it right now. You guys want to do like a thing where you can watch me watching stuff? Drunken peasants. Drunken peasants. Live.
What the heck?
Live today.
At 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Where are they hailing from? They've been streaming for 2 minutes.
It says at 7 p.m. It's already like 9, isn't it? 10 o'clock. Dang, how did it get so late?
The astrological reading.
No, it didn't take that long. We've only been on for like an hour.
Oops.
We've probably only been on for an hour. But it did take a long time.
Yes.
And it could take even longer.
Oh.
I'm probably not as concise as I should be.
Oh, look, there we are. A little bit of a delay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
What? The fuck? Why is my phone talking to me?
That's crazy. Have you guys tried that yet? The When Hair Care? Try it, it works. Just around your iPhone say, I wish I had When Hair Care. And in like 24 hours, you'll get the email.
That's not good.
It's real. It's real. So, we can drink, she doesn't drink, but I can drink more and put on peasant clothes. I mean, that's what you guys want. That's what my husband wants. We can have a piece of pizza. Okay.
Anyway, I think that it's going to be successful, the new business venture. Just watch out for the people who are going to try to take
There's
some
always
stuff
haters.
that's not theirs.
And
trust more in yourself.
I have a real strict motto that I'm sticking to right now. And it's like, I don't care.
Here, let's do a reading for the people out there.
Okay. Somebody throw me out a question. Somebody can do a
I'll
question.
just do I'll just draw
they can
some
put out a
cards.
question.
Put up a question.
Face like a burn.
Or
you got a question?
Or I could just draw
or Elijah,
some cards.
Or any of you guys throw us a question. What's your question?
See what kind of energy is present right now.
Well, while you guys are doing you, I'm going to do me.
Why failure?
Why failure?
Brian Stevens wants to know why failure. Okay.
We're going to ask the cards, why failure?
Oh. Started going crazy.
Does anybody have a full question?
I can work with why failure.
Why failure?
I'm just gonna do a 3-card spread for Brian. Okay. Oh, you're not coming to terms with things, Brian.
Uh-oh, Brian.
5 of Wands. Very chaotic, scattered energy.
I knew it. Brian sucks. That's
I
why.
don't
That's
even
why
know
fail,
who
Brian.
is. Anyways, I'm getting the feeling that you have a lot of energy that you don't know where to put it, and there's like a lot of chaotic things that you don't know what to do with. Also, you have the 5 of Cups too. You've been hurt, like really hurt, and so you're not able to
Brian,
get
have you
past
been
those
hurt?
feelings.
Have you been hurt?
In some way, you've been hurt, and you're not able to get past those feelings. But you have to remember that even though those 3 cups are down, those 2 cups still stand that can still be filled. So you've got to. This last card here is the 2 of Pentacles. You're in a position where you need to make a decision. Right now, you're probably on a down instead of an up, because this card's about ups and downs and about the shifts in life. And I definitely think that you need to come to a decision about something that you're experiencing in regards to some emotional matter that you were hurt about, and I think that's blocking you from like moving on and being successful in whatever it is that you want to do.
Oh shit! This is getting real right now, Brian.
Where'd he go?
He's there. He's here. He's still here.
Okay.
I went somewhere. I was fishing around on YouTube.
Okay.
I'm just gonna post.
Come to terms with whatever
Are there more cards you're supposed to
emotional.
put out? Or is that just
I
like
just did a
the
3 cards.
Texas Hold'em version?
A 3 card
Is there a
spread.
river card that's due or?
No, it's just a 3-card spread. It's just, you can interpret it as past, present, future. So presently is the emotional hurts. In the future, he's going to be put in a position where he has to make a decision about something that is in regards to that. And in the past, I think it's the scattered. I don't know. I consider it like just a lack of direction. You don't know where to place your energies and what to do with
Well,
them.
he can't have that much of lack of direction if he's, on my channel. I'm just kidding. I posted our video.
Okay, cool. Are we still on right now?
Yeah, we're
Oh my
live
gosh.
as fuck.
Oh no. So Brian, is that sounding okay? Is that sounding pretty much what's going on, or
Let's go back to Brian.
am I way off?
Tell us.
Thanks.
He said thanks.
Okay. Good. I can do another question.
He gave me 666. Thank you. Lots of sixes. Thank you. Now I'm posting this to my Facebook.
I'm just gonna do what's the energy right now for people out there tonight on November, 17th?
Yes. 11. It's 1117.
1117. November 17th. It's 8/9. It's a 1 day, I think. 2. Oh no. November's a 2. 17th is an 8. And a 1. So 2, 8, and 1. 8. Oh, it's an 11 day or a 2 day? Today's a good day then.
It's a good
I don't
day.
know, my life path's a 2.
No barking
so it's
from
a
the
good day for
dog.
me.
No smog.
11s and 2s are part of my numerology, so it's a good day for me.
Okay, now I posted so we can have our Facebook. Come check it
Just do one card. Ooh, it's a Page of Wands. You got the Page of Wands in yours.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a good creative day. Or night, I should say. Sparks of new ideas and adventures are waiting for people.
Ooh. That's his card or my card?
That's just a general card for anyone. It's just a card that I threw out there.
What do you guys want to talk about? I'm coming back in the shot right now. I'm gonna eat some pizza. As I said I wasn't gonna do. Faux show, and then you guys can ask me questions since you have lots of stuff to say in comments.
Global warming.
Global warming. Oh my god. I'm super cereal, guys. I am more interested in global cooling than I am in global warming. And global cooling is something that took place on 9/11 when they grounded all of the airplanes, and it actually changed the atmosphere and the temperature of the entire planet. So some people know I mentored under Dr. Jeff King, who you can search under the 9/11 Truth Movement. But that is something I would say that he subscribed to that theory, but he definitely looked into it a lot. And he also believed in the Earth expansion theory. And here's something very interesting. I basically inherited all of that guy's research when he passed away. And someone who said they were someone that they were not showed up at his house and took all of his books on Earth expansion. And it was super rare. He had them since he got them from someone I think he went to MIT with or something like that. This guy was so smart. He worked at Lincoln Labs at MIT. And he helped create the first man-made vortex.
Wow.
Yeah. So all of his Earth expansion books were all taken by someone who said they were someone, but then they weren't. So his wife had asked me about it, and I was like, that's not that person. So that was crazy. And then when you think about the Earth expansion theory and the pressure of the Earth changing, how does that affect the planet? So I would think it has less to do with man-made catastrophe and more to do with planetary cycles.
Yeah,
I don't think there's anything that humans could, I'm not saying litter and shit like that, that's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is I don't think that there's a thing we could do to this planet to destroy it up to nuclear war.
Yeah.
Which, from what I understand, there's an elder race on this planet. Oops, sorry guys. And they are not going to allow any nuclear bombs to be detonated. And there's a reason that I believe that that's true. And so I don't think there's going to be any nuclear bombs. I think that there are guardians on this planet, and they're not going to let anything like that happen because they need this planet. So, and they need humans. So I know that's super, super crazy, but I do believe there are guardians here, the guardian race. So, but I think that the Earth naturally goes through cleansing cycles, and there's a lot of evidence. There's a lot of evidence to prove that is actually the case. So. Jagball 22, is that who you are or what? Brian Stevens, are you Jagball 22?
You must be because I can't shuffle my cards.
Wow, that is so crazy. How do I know you're really that person?
Who's hell is Jagball 22?
Okay, so let me tell you about Jagball 22. When I first started talking to Truth Theorisy, because he's from the same area that I'm from, he doesn't live here anymore. When I started talking to Truth Theorisy, I started to come upon a lot of astrological symbols relating to my own birth and to my husband's chart.
Oh, okay.
And related specifically to the Holy Grail. And then I linked, because my husband is a Lincoln, like a real Lincoln. And so,
Like an Abraham Lincoln?
yes. And not just like anything, like his family was taken in by the Habsburgs, who are the Habsburgs, and sort of like hidden among that bloodline. So it's a trip. So we found that our two signs together, not only
your husband Dennis,
not only
I need his chart.
Our
his astrology.
yeah, well, it's not only our like astrological symbols. It was the years that we were born, and the only reason I remembered that about us is that we had dinner at a place. I was actually when we first started dating, I was gonna break up with him, and we ended up having dinner at this place. And it was an Asian restaurant, and they had those old-fashioned placemats that have the Chinese zodiac that go around, like disposable ones.
Yeah.
And it had said that our two symbols, no other symbols, it said this, just on these two, that they should stay away from each other, no matter what.
But what? That doesn't
but it was,
correspond with Western astrology necessarily.
well, it does, because the carousel goes around this way, and then the years go this way, and the months go this way. So it's going like this. So the Chinese one is this way, and the Western zodiac goes
theirs
this way.
is a lunar.
So they go
calendar.
together, but they move together like this. It's a carousel. Goes up and down, up and down, up and down.
Well, they'll
and
say
then it
like
goes
a
around.
rat should never be
Well, it wasn't
with a horse.
So we
but
started
that's
looking.
a Leo
We
and
started
a
looking into
Gemini,
that. I started
which
looking
work.
into that because there was there was one in Western and one in Chinese culture that they took out. So they took out the cat, because the cat ate the rat. So they took out the cat, and then some crazy story. I don't know the whole story. All right. And then they took out Ophiuchus from the Western astrology. That's why everything's like a little off a little bit. Or some Scorpios are actually Libras and all this crazy stuff. So I started looking at that. So because my rebellious nature, if I were to map out,
that's a Uranus.
if I were to map out, I have ODD, obsessive defiance disorder. So if I was to map out like a map that would guarantee that I would follow it, I would definitely leave clues for myself to not do things, knowing that like my rebellious nature would do them anyways. But it had said specifically no other signs, just these two. And so I started looking into, when I was reading Jagball's stuff, I was like, this is so crazy. Not only is this like our birth dates, but we had other stuff happen to us too. Like this guy was at the farmer's market, and this like wind hit him, and this voice spoke to him and told him that we were going to change the world and all this crazy stuff. Well, I would not have believed that. Except that I whispered something to myself at that time, because Dennis and I were not getting along. We had not been very, very long. And I whispered something to myself that nobody else heard. And where this took place was, far away from where I was at the farmer's market. And he told Dennis he heard a voice say this to him. That's the only reason I believed it, because no one heard me say that. There's no way anybody heard me say it. And Dennis is telling me the story. It was such a crazy experience for this guy that he didn't tell anybody for a long time. And it took 6 months for him to told Dennis up like a men's retreat. He's like, well, I don't want to leave this mountain without telling you what happened. So I didn't think anything of it at the time. And then all this stuff happened to me in 2013. And then so I think it was 2014 when we started opening up the FBI cases and doing all that stuff that I started looking into a lot of this stuff. And so I found, which is so crazy because the Biblo, the owl, is the name of the timepiece in the center, the true center of Washington, D.C. I found that out by watching all these different swearing-ins that they did with Donald Trump. And my assumption was that when they had the meeting that they had corrected all this secrets in plain sight where they showed the center of Washington and all this occult stuff, that they're making a joke that the actual true center of Washington is here in this room, standing under the great Biblo the owl, and it's a big clock. So I thought that was like awesome, because I think not a lot of people catch that. But so it had the ox goad and the Scorpio and Libra in conjunction makes the Holy Grail.
What is your husband's sign?
Libra.
Oh,
And
he's a Libra.
his name is Dennis, but he's also born on the day of Saint Dionysus, which
When
is the
he
Feast of Tabernacles.
He's probably conjunct your moon or Pluto thing.
Man, it's so crazy. It's really crazy.
What day
But,
was he born on?
October 9th.
Oh.
Saint Dennis.
Oh, October 9th. That means his sun is at like 17 degrees. He's about halfway through. Oh yeah, he is conjunct your... Where's the other paper? I'll just look on my phone.
I don't know, but
The sun is with your moon and.
so I send a lot of people to Jackball22. I send a lot of people to your channel. I hope it's monetized. I send a bunch of people there. So I was like, check this out.
I'll have to check it out.
And you know what's crazy is I was telling Nadia earlier about the Mad Aeon videos. So I made these videos in 2013 about Visalia and how it has a setup of the tower. And the 7-Eleven, the tower
tarot
16,
card?
yeah. And it's all the tower. These towers are set up all over the planet. And so that it's actually the towers. So I found it on a map of Visalia. I dotted the square out. I connected the dots. There's a whole thing. I had printouts on the internet that I had printed out. I still have them to this day with date stamps and like water damage from my old garage, my old house. And 2 years later, Mad Aeon did a video about these two people trying to find the tower. And they're mapping it out the same way that I did. And they have the same printouts that I had up on the walls. And then they did a making of the video. And the director that made the video said that the video was full of symbolism. And there was a message to these two that they were supposed to find the tower, and the tower wants them to find the tower as much as they want to find it, and he wasn't going to say much more than that. So Jeff was really obsessed with the tower card. It's number 16 too, which is the number of chaos. In the occult
16
world,
equals a 7.
In the occult world,
In numerology.
the number is chaos.
Well, that's
16.
what the tower is. But
so I love
out
this
of the
one
chaos
guy
can come
went on
good
Revolution
things.
Radio, and he like went off, and they cut him off Revolution Radio and everything. They weren't gonna let him talk. Oh, you can hear me doing whippets. Sorry. Anyways, what I was saying was.
You're just getting more serious in your speech.
Yeah, I'm just taking it very seriously. Is all. Yeah. So that, anyways, yeah, crazy. We only have 2 people watching right now.
The tower is not that bad. I mean, none of the cards are bad.
The tower is the sword and the stone. That's what the tower is. It's the sword and the stone. It's the Da'at seal of wisdom. It's when you have a real pineal gland awakening, like experience, that Da'at seal is broken.
I
And it
wonder
takes
why.
you
I
back
wonder
to
if
the
that's
level
why
that
maybe
you were on.
don't respond or don't like DMT.
Maybe
because,
I thought about that.
because of
Not
the
that I've done
experience
DMT.
that you had. Oh, sorry.
Ha.
Not that you're not exploding here.
Yeah.
But that takes like it's like a video game. It takes you back to the level you were at your previous awakening. Not even incarnation. Like at whatever awakening that incarnation that you were at, maybe it was 5 lives ago, and you were
Yeah.
able to get
See,
the
I didn't
tap
get to-
in.
I didn't get
it will
to
take
do
you
that
back to
part.
5 lives ago, so you can tap in and gain all the knowledge from all of those lifetimes. That's what it is. I'm not in the video right now.
Just me. I'm getting tired. I'm an old lady.
We're both old ladies now. We are not old ladies. Don't
I'm
say
tired.
that.
I am tired. I'm ready to go to sleep.
Go here.
I don't want to fade out.
Nadia's gonna take a break.
Whoa. Haven't stood up for a long time. I need to circulate my blood.
No, it was not out of the blue. Not at all.
What was out of the blue?
My pineal gland awakening? No, I wouldn't say it was out of the blue by any means at all.
leading up to your awakening.
I was definitely on. I'm gonna get back in the view because
Okay.
Nadia has now left. So I would say no.
He wants to watch it.
Because I was like really set on.
Here, let me find the card that will explain it.
Yes, thank you. Yes. And I was like going through the whole thing where you like demand your like real name from your inner self, and I mean I was fasting, and I was getting to the point where I was like up against the wall with whatever force was on the other side of the wall. I was like, I'm just gonna blow everything and tell everybody everything I know, or some other force is gonna have to step in and do something, because justice. See, and that's what I said at the very beginning of my first videos. Mm-hmm.
There's your card for that.
Because shit, that's so funny.
Cards don't lie.
Yeah, that's crazy. But
that's why people are
I
scared of them.
also was taking, which I forgot, like in a lot of my videos, I'm like, damn, I should have probably mentioned that. My cousin had been having like a thyroid disorder, and so she was taking a pill that she liked. So I went to the vitamin shop and they did not have that one, so I got the next best one, which was for all glands. So there's one thing that I was doing during that time for like 2 months before, was taking a pill, a supplement from the vitamin shop that was for glandular support. It was for like the brain, the lungs, like all glands. The pineal gland didn't say pineal gland,
But it's a gland.
the thyroid, yeah, the thyroid is gland. So it's definitely a gland. So that is one thing that I was
Plus,
doing.
you were young.
No, I was 33.
Oh, I thought it was when you were 13.
That
was another thing.
Those were like, I had what I would explain. I'm gonna bend this up.
Oh, 33.
I'm gonna tear it up like a terrible business card.
Okay.
Sorry. I started having the experiences when I started when I was about 8 years old, and so I had like levels of experience. And then when you have like the real one, you know that you've had it, because it's very specific. You know exactly what you're supposed to do. Exactly if there's things you need to get, you know exactly what you need to get.
And that's when you had to take down those people.
Yeah, it's like opening a notebook that you wrote to yourself before you were born, that you knew the exact moment of time when you would open the notebook. So it's like really overwhelming, but the first thing that you want to do is like go take it to other people. You want to, like, because it's like so amazing, you want everybody to experience that, and people just like freak out, especially if you've been raised in like church or whatever, because if you get that, you know that every single person going to church for real reasons, that's what they're trying to get. You know?
Yeah.
That's it. That's what they're trying to get. They have all these different names for it.
It's like a reconnection.
Yeah, they call it
source.
being sealed. They call it being anointed. They call it being awakened. They call it all these different things. But there's all these like generic versions of it, or like different levels of it, or I would say almost like placebo effect type things. You know, like there's always that person every Sunday who's like, whoa, falling down. And you're like, cool, yeah. You know what I mean? Like this lady, you know, whatever. But then there's like the real thing. And it's that's why I say it's a sword in the stone. Because it's like, it requires a certain type of bravery. That's what it is. And that's why a lot of people do like fasting and trying to sacrifice to attain that. Because it's like everybody wants that, but why do you want it? And to have a real noble cause, like for me, like I share with my viewers, for me, I was like on my face from the floor, like crying and praying when I found out 27 humans have been taken into human trafficking, mostly children under the age of 8. Like I learned that in church from a lawyer who was with IJAM, and I went home, I was just like, how do you go back to your normal?
Myself after that.
How do you go back to your normal life after that? You know,
I don't think
like.
you could.
And so I just like, wow, all these people like they gave some money and washed their hands of it.
That's not,
you know,
what's the money gonna do?
Yeah, you know, fund this international justice mission or whatever. But I was like, what about what's happening right here in Visalia? Like that's cool, we're going to help the Philippines, whatever. But what about like right here in our town where the news won't cover it, where we know, you know, young boys and girls are being taken. You know, we had the car crash, and then the girls escaped because they crashed trying to escape on the freeway. You know, but like if you post it on Facebook or you talk about it, they're like, oh, this is a made up story, or fear mongering, or like whatever.
Yeah.
But for me, that's what it was when I had that experience. I was really super focused on helping people overcome mass mind control. because I felt like the mass mind control is what makes us subject to the predators. You know, there's predators out there,
Yeah.
and then we're just like zombies going about our day. Like, we don't understand the real dangers of what's out there, and a lot of people don't understand that the human trafficking is the occult. Like, it's not the occult, it's the synagogue of Satan in the Bible. That's what they're called, you know. And so, but a lot of people don't want to talk about it because of the like you know, there's like a whole anti-Semitic, you know, aura around the whole thing, because these people are like posing as Jews. That's the only way I say. So it's
Just so that they have like a good front.
it's a web. It's a
To make
tight-knit
it look
web.
like legitimate
And they've been doing
and
it since-
respectable.
Yeah, they've been doing it forever. Yeah. So
That's so sick.
yeah, and it's unbelievable. It's like horrific. It's horrific. But I mean, I've talked about it like in length on my videos how horrifying it was.
It's totally objectifying human
It's beyond
beings.
that. It's
Yeah.
so.
Because they're children, they're innocent.
Yeah, it's
They
like
have no
that's why
control.
they do it, and it's like it's not about power. It's not about control. It's not about sex. It's about magic. That's what it's about. Whether it's real or not is irrelevant. They believe it's real.
So that makes it real.
That
in my opinion.
Yes, that's it. Like, this is what I tried when I first went to the police, and they would not listen to me. I had to get to the point where we had proof, and then the police would step in, and then they raided this house in LA. But it was like, up until then, it was too unbelievable. It was like, you know.
Yeah. Nobody wants to believe that.
Nobody wants to
anyways.
believe it, yeah.
Who would want to believe that? Then they'd
No,
have
I
to,
didn't even
they'd
believe
have to
it.
They'd have to be
Yeah,
responsible.
I mean,
for
I
it
did
in
my
some way.
I did my due diligence, but I didn't even believe the stories when she told me so. You know, I was like toddlers stacked in cages in a ranch outside of LA. Yeah, right. You know, I didn't believe that, but it was real. It was true. So, they took her to jail. Like, she got arrested. But, anyways,
So what is this magic for then?
I would say that the energy is used to control the ancient Egyptian energy system of the grid lines that we're all tapped into the collective consciousness, so that they can tap into the collective consciousness. I think there's a group of humans that have incarnated onto the planet that have access to the collective consciousness in a huge way. I think they're the same people like we're doing the tales of like Krishna and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's a group of what some, for lack of a better term, they call them like incarnated angels or like whatever, but those people, and I think whether they know it or not, they know it because we see it in our daily lives. Like when, you know, you think about someone and they call, you think about something and you see it, or like you express something, even if it's like in a fear capacity, and then it comes to pass because your existence on this planet and your thoughts and your on a quantum level are having access to everything. And that's why I think the pineal gland is when when a person reaches the point where they're worthy of that sword and the stone, where you have like a pure heart, your intentions are pure, and you have that specific kind of courage or bravery, then that's when you get access to it. Yeah,
You're given
because
that knowledge.
yeah, that power to influence the matrix, because you're not given that power, that halo, unless you've demonstrated the ability to have like a pure heart towards a goal, like a righteous
Like a
goal.
righteous goal, yeah.
Yeah.
Like to help another person,
Yeah, and
a group of people.
And I was
to-
willing to give my own life and like lose everything at that point, because I was like, that's like my existence, and even my small little household existence isn't bigger than 27 million people,
No.
you know. And it was
Yeah.
like, where are the people, where are the bodies if they're dead, where are the people? And that's when this shit started to get really scary. Really freaky. You know, I had like at one point I wanted to give up. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, everybody's saying I'm crazy. Like, I know what I know, but people are saying I'm crazy. I don't have to do this. I can just go back to trying to, like, you know, save up to get my Viper. And I was just like doing the worldly thing, just, you know, running my business and doing everything. I don't need to be involved in this or whatever. I did it a long time ago and got called crazy, so I backed out of it. And so
I think no matter what, you're just going to be really eccentric.
well, yeah,
you're gonna
and then you
have
realize they're gonna
access
say
to
that about me
information.
anyways, so I might as well just say what I want to say. But I was ready to give up truly, and so I just like plopped down on the couch, and I was like, you know, thinking, God, I don't want to do this. Just let all these people drown. I don't care. and just let them all go. And I plopped down on the couch, and it's in my old house when I was still in the UHF band. Before, like a few days after this happened, AT&T pulled my internet service altogether. And I had to call, and they took me off that band and put me on a different band and gave me like a cheaper rate. It was weird. So anyways, the Golden Dawn, I don't know.
Organization.
Yeah, my husband knows more about the Golden Dawn than I do. Where
Golden Dawn
was
is
I saying?
Aleister Crowley's organization, right?
No, Aleister Crowley left the Golden Dawn.
Okay, but he was part of it.
Briefly.
But he didn't. Yeah, it was before that.
He said that I have no peers here, basically.
Okay.
But what I was saying about the pineal gland and anyways, though, I don't know who is associated with the Golden Dawn. Well, I don't know, but that is. So I plopped down on the couch, and I was thinking this, like I'm ready to give up, whatever. That's what this is going. And I plopped down on the couch, and my computer was hooked up to my television, and it popped on, and a video popped on my TV screen, and it was a skull with the eyebrows that moved, and it had red and white roses all the way around it. This is like one of the craziest things that happened to me. And it popped on my screen, and it said, "If you give up now, you get nothing. I mean seriously, nothing." And then it popped off.
Whoa.
And it sounded like Jeff King. And like the way the voice was, and his extensive knowledge of the UHF band at Lincoln Labs, which I learned later. But the way the eyebrows moved, and the computer that I was using was a computer that he had given me. And so it was just really, really weird. But the fact of the matter was, no one could see me in my house, like, to make a video that quick and send it to me, like, to mess with me. Because that's, like, my first time somebody was messing with me. It happened, like, instantaneously, and then it was gone. Gone. Like, I've searched.
And there was no trace.
I've searched everywhere. The only thing that I found, even close to that picture, was the album cover of what's that band? They do digital bath, the Deftones. They have a song called Minerva, and it looks almost identical to the skull that popped up in the video.
Okay.
But the Minerva is the deity for this area. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. And they actually used to have her statue on top of the courthouse.
Minerva is.
Minerva, wisdom, war.
Yeah, is Athena.
Yes. The sister, supposed to be the sister of Athena, one of the representations of
I
her.
think it's like the Roman version of Athena is Minerva.
Yeah, it gets sketchy. Sometimes they say it's her sister, and then because Athena had a sister named Mari. And so some say Minerva is the sister of Athena, Mary. So, but she's in the museum at Plaza Park. There's a huge statue of her, and they say, like, to this day they don't know exactly what it's made out of because it doesn't decompose or anything like that. So it's in the museum. So that was a trip to find out, like, later on. I was like, that's so weird. But anyways, yeah, and I had several other videos get sent to me that were sent to me through YouTube that were really weird. But that one wasn't on YouTube. I don't know how it popped up on my TV screen to this day. I do not know. But it was weird. So, but other than that, I didn't have any, other than, like, right before your pineal gland goes, you're, like, you feel like you're going crazy. It feels like you're going crazy because you're taking in so much information. Part of that experience is taking in tons of information, whether you understand it or not. And you feel crazy. Like I was saying a second ago, it almost came to a point where I was, like, up against the wall with whatever was on the other side. Like, you're going to give me this, or else I'm going to go crazy and tell everybody what I know. And, like, they can sort it out. You know, I was just like, you know, this is what's going to happen. And then when I was doing the fasting and stuff, on the third day of 3.5 days or so is when it happened. So, and I was just, like, at someone's house. It just happened. It was weird. So I had to get up and, like, leave, and it was a whole thing. But, and ever since then, you're just not the same after that. It's not like waking up It's not like anything like what people
Yeah.
say it is. No, when I hear people talk about their pineal gland experiences and all these different stories, I'm just like, oh. I don't not rude or say that they don't have that they haven't had that real experience, but the fact of the matter is like I know that I did, and I know what it was, and it
wasn't what they were saying.
Yeah, there's no pain involved. You don't hear popping. There's not a poof. There's no, there's just like, oh shit. Like, it's just like all, like your brain, it feels like your brain is opening up and then the universe is above it and then information is just going in. And it's not like you're being taught information, it's like you're remembering information.
Yeah.
It's like you wrote it or something. It's like the infinite and you have like what
You
most
should,
people
have you
would
talked
call
to Larry about
your,
it?
yeah, we talked about it, yeah.
Okay.
What most people would call like your soul contract, which is like, they say there's like two of the most important days in a person's life is the day that you were born and the day you realize why you were born. So I would say when that happens, like when you realize why you were born or like whatever. So now the Golden Dawn, Visalia was founded by the Knights of the Golden Circle, who was also the KKK, Kulkin. And
wow, I had no idea.
they are connected to that site at St. John's and everything like that, and they're Eagle Scouts here on the Quia Oaks Preserve. Everything is 311, so that's a fun number to look into as far as the KKK goes. So, and then we have Venice Hill here. Joseph Marconi got a lot of the quartz crystals that they made their first radios with out of Venice Hill here, which was also a KKK ritual site, which is where we were baptized.
How fun.
Yeah. So, okay guys, it's our 10:45. We're gonna sign off. I thought this would be really fun. Like I said, we were gonna do this on my Etsy closed group, but it costs money to get in there. And
well, I can always come back and do readings for more people.
Yeah.
Online, I don't care.
yeah, we could do all kinds of different stuff. And so basically, thank you guys. Basically, I just thought you guys would probably like this better, and then I can post it on here. It doesn't have all the cool effects that the Facebook group videos have. There was all twinkly and stuff. So yeah, I did the cool effects off. But so yeah, if you have like stuff you want to add, or you want a tarot reading, or like whatever, or you want to talk to Nadia, just hit me up. Let me know. You can post it in the comments, and I'll get back to you and give you some information on how to get a hold of her, or we can meet up here and do this again live. But until then, guys, see you later.
Bye.
Nadia says
I'm
bye.
tired. Sorry, I'm an old lady.